Hey y'all, how are y'all? You are tuned in We Are Jersey Magazine. My name is Melissa, and I have here JaRich, a Newark native who is a singer, author, educator, community activist. Hello, what's going on?
What's going on, Melissa? How are you?
Oh, I just love JaRich, excuse me.
Yeah, we can use JaRich, JaRich.
You have a lot on your resume, a lot on your plate, right?
Oh man. I don't even think I look at it like that. I just do the work. I just do the work, man.
Just do what you're supposed to do, right?
I just do what I'm supposed to do. That's it.
Well, let's dive into each little things of what you're supposed to do, right?
Okay, let's do it.
Right? In Newark, where you were born and raised, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does that, play into your work? The interactions and dynamics that you have with your students?
Well, it plays a lot. Very simple, because that's where I'm from. Newark is where I'm from. Newark is home. You know what I'm saying? So once again, I don't feel as though you can, well, I'm not gonna say once again, but you can't do anything without the support of your community, the community in which you come, the community in which you lay your head. So Newark ties into all of who I am because I'm still there. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm still there or whatnot like that, it's a lot of who I am, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of who I grew up to be, you know what I'm saying? It's all from those experiences and all from those trails and the journey of me traveling down these Newark streets, me living in Newark, me experiencing different things, the friendships and the relationships that I've built down through the years, you know what I'm saying? So Newark plays a big part of what like that, because you can't expect somebody else to support you if your home doesn't love you or support you first. And sometimes that's very, far stretched, because a lot of times we get people, especially artists, you know what I'm saying, where they feel as though home doesn't support and that they get better support elsewhere. And I do feel as though that has to change. But I also do find out, you don't give up on your home. This is your foundation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they don't rock with you, but that's okay. But you don't turn your back on them.
Right, most definitely. And with that being said, you were a middle school teacher and now you're a high school teacher, right? So speaking to the older crowd,
it is a big difference, boy.
A big difference.
Big
How
difference.
has that difference, just panned out for you?
Number one, the difference in age, the difference in mentality, or one like that. And then I'm not going to say much in mentality, because you got some high school kids that still kind of act like, they're in middle school and elementary school. I ain't going to even sugarcoat it.
Like that too.
You know what I'm saying? But the difference is whatnot. In the elementary middle school sector, I was more of, and as an educator, period, I'm a nurturer. But when you're dealing with the babies, you know what I'm saying, from kindergarten up to probably 6th to 8th grade, however way it goes, just in the elementary middle school sector, period, you know what I'm saying? You're dealing with a lot of catty and stuff that really doesn't make sense. You're really molding them and building up that emotional, confidence and that social confidence. When you're dealing with the high school students or whatnot, you're dealing with young adults or whatnot that are kind of experiencing life already. Some of them are facing different challenges within the home, even though, that could be at any age, but you got some of them that are really, involved in relationships, teen pregnancies, you know what I'm saying, abortions, just the realities of life, you know what I'm saying? They're not no longer children, you know what I'm saying? They're performing as adults. So I'm better able to relate to them because I was in their shoes before. I faced a lot as a teenager, you know what I'm saying? I've been through a lot, even if a lot of it was, I caused it on myself. You know what I'm saying? I was in those shoes, and it was only through those experiences that I was better able to help somebody else. And I was better able to mold somebody else and to build somebody else's character and to build somebody else up that probably thought, I probably did too much, or I can't bounce back from this. You know what I'm saying? So me with the high school kids, I can kind of get with them and get in their face, and I don't have to really hold too much back, even though I still have to be a professional, but I can actually, you know what I'm saying, speak to some of the things, and they look at me as not only the educator, but a friend or a mentor. Some of them talk to me about some shit that they probably don't even talk to their own parents about. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta honor that trust that they're able to come to you and they feel comfortable to come to you and share some of these things with. Now, some things I always tell them, you got to be careful what you say, because some things I might have to report if I feel like you're in danger or whatnot. But a lot of times they're just dealing with life. you know what I'm saying, and they're scared or they don't know, you know what I'm saying, they're experiencing things for the first time, you know what I'm saying, which will happen, you know what I'm saying. So because I've experienced things and I'm still experiencing life. You never stop experiencing life. I always try to tell my kids, I don't really believe in a good or bad experience. I believe in just experiences. They were meant to happen, and it's all going to come together in the end. It is all going to make sense in the end. Whether it's good or bad, it's just an experience.
Most definitely. And segueing into your role as a community activist, you know, taking your experiences, as you said, your personal experiences, and also growing up in Newark and how that plays a role into you being an educator. How does, you know, how does that play with being a community activist as well?
I would say I don't look at myself as a community activist. You know what I'm saying? I just do the work. You know what I'm saying? I believe this is purpose work. You know what I'm saying? You can't just wake up one day and say, I want to change the world. You know what I'm saying? You have to really see a need. You have to have a passion to want more for your community, for your fellow brethren, for, you know, the women and men and the boys and girls in your community. You know what I'm saying? I didn't wake up just one day and was like, I want to change the world, or I want to. It was the things that I've seen. It was experiences. It was things that didn't sit well with me or my spirit. It was the way I've seen people being treated, you know what I'm saying? Or the lack of resources that made me say, look, I don't have it all. I'm still figuring shit out myself or whatnot like that. But I am a little better well off than most or whatnot like that. And I've been very blessed in my life or whatnot. So what better way to help somebody else? Like I said, it's easy to judge somebody's situation or story if you don't know them. You know what I'm saying? If you're on the outside just looking in. But when you actually sit down and have conversations with people and you understand their stories, and that's why I say I like people's stories. I like people's journeys, because if you know a person's story, you won't be so hard or so quick to actually judge them. You're kind of more so, what can I do to help them? How can I encourage them? You know what I'm saying? It's not even about having sympathy for them, because I don't believe in having sympathy for people. You know what I'm saying? Because having sympathy is just, oh, I feel sorry for your situation. No, but what are we going to do to get you out of this situation? What are we going to do to get you to overcome? So community activists, I don't like that, because it sounds as if I'm looking for accolades or awards, or I'm doing this because I'm just trying to bring attention to myself. A lot of the things that I do, people don't know about it, or it don't really get the big paper notoriety. It's not in the newspaper. It's not on RLS. It's not on no fancy sites. I do it. I post it on my social media. I put out different contests just for Christmas or whatnot like that. We blessed 2 families that were in need or one like that. One family, you know what I'm saying, with gifts, and another family, we took care of their whole entire Christmas dinner. You know what I'm saying? I had my sis, you know what I'm saying, shout out to her, JB's Taste or whatnot like that, catering, awesome or whatnot like that. She joined forces with me. You know what I'm saying? And we blessed these families for Christmas or whatnot like that. And then I had a bunch of my family and my friends, my peers or whatnot like that I reached out to, that donated toys, that donated gift cards, that donated money. And to me, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. They didn't ask no questions. They just said, how can I help? How can I help?
Everybody together.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So it didn't just come from my pocket. This is not just a me thing. You know what I'm saying? This came from everybody else that saw the need or felt something or felt connected to the story and said, I want to be a blessing to someone else. God has blessed me, or I'm here now. And I remember when I was at that place and I want to give back in some way. So this isn't a me thing, because a lot of people do things because they want the notoriety to be on them. They want to, oh, you're so dope, you're so whatever. I don't give a shit about that, because there's people out here really hurting. There's people out here that's really, you know, suffering, you know what I'm saying? Mentally, emotionally, all aspects of life, people are suffering or whatnot like that. So I can't so much judge the circumstance. I want to know the story, and how can I help you overcome? How can I help you become better, to become a better version of yourself?
Well, definitely. And with that being said, a lot of this comes, you know, from your relationship with God and your grandmother, who also
big time
your relationship to God, right?
Absolutely.
And she played a very big role in your life, and not just in church, but also with your music career as well, which we will get into. Can we just talk a little bit about that and just who she was in your life, and kind of like helped you realize your talent?
Frances Washington, my grandmother, my heart, my best friend. Man, rest in peace, number one, because she died, 2020 at the height of COVID, at the very beginning. And it's been rough without it ever since. But if it wasn't for her, my parents had me at 16, 17. Yeah, 16, 17, I think my mother got pregnant with me. My father was 16, my mother was 17, had me at 17, 18 or whatnot. And they were still going through high school. You know what I'm saying? I was actually at my mom's senior graduation. So them being that young or whatever like that, and even though they were mature and they did the damn thing, because my parents actually raised me, they had help. Being that young, they had help. And that help was my grandmother, Frances Washington or whatnot. And even though I give my mom props, and my parents did an awesome job, and they're very much involved in my life, and they did raise me, it would be remiss of me not to give my grandmother her due or whatnot like that, because she played a big part, because that's who I was up under. I was up under my grandmother's ass or whatnot like that. That was my best friend. And we fought like cats and dogs in a loving way, because I was her first grandchild or whatnot like that. Everybody would say I was spoiled in a sense, you know what I'm saying? So you would have thought that I probably was my grandmother's man, or you probably would have thought we was a married old bickering couple or whatnot like that. But it was all love. And when you knew us, and if you knew of our bond and a relationship, or how I felt about my grandmother, how my grandmother felt about me, you would say it was no relationship better or whatnot. So my grandmother played a big part. She was the one that introduced me to God. She took me to church. You know what I'm saying? She made sure I was involved in the church or whatnot like that. But outside of understanding church and church principle and, going to church and knowing church etiquette, she made sure I had a relationship. You know what I'm saying? She woke me up every morning at 6 o'clock or whatnot like that to have prayer. You know what I'm saying? Even if I didn't want to, it was mandated. You know what I'm saying? Especially during those years where I really didn't have a choice. Once I got older, of course, we stay our own way. I don't really want to go to church. And it wasn't forced. You know what I'm saying? But my faith was always strong or whatnot. And it was always because of her. It's nothing that I do, even to this day, that I don't acknowledge God for it for. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only through him that, number one, I have my being. And it's only through him that all the things that I've achieved thus far in my life, every ounce of success, whether little or big, is because I'm covered.
Amen. Yeah.
Simply.
Most definitely. And I know you touch on a little bit in your book, Through My Eyes, which has been released some time ago, but is still relevant to today.
Very relevant.
About that relevancy?
Through My Eyes is relevant because it's not really a chapter book. It's not on fairy tales. It's not an autobiography. It's not on my life. It's the shit and the things that I've faced in my life. You know what I'm saying? Through relationships, losing myself in relationships, you know what I'm saying? And trying to grow from that, you know what I'm saying? Understanding who I was, you know what I'm saying? Having some type of faith base, you know what I'm saying? Whether you are a Muslim, a Christian, a Buddhist, or whatnot, just being able to gravitate and hold on to something outside of man or whatnot like that, to where when you're going through the storms of life, you have something to cling on to, where you know that after this, there will be a rainbow. There will be brighter days after this storm. The storm shall pass. You know what I'm saying? So those things are very important to me. So those are different things that I touched on in the book. The book came about, number one, I was in college. Everybody calls me Preacher Ja, because as you can tell, I like to talk. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a motivator. I'm an encourager. So people, all my friends in college, or the people that I would sit down, they would gather around me while I would talk and while I'm just preaching all these different things. And they're just like, wow, we should start a podcast. Or at the time in school, they were just like, we should record these, you know what I'm saying, and start a little show, you know what I'm saying, in what was called the SAC at Centenary College. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was like, we should, start taping you because you're just so good. People listen to you and you're just so motivating. So I said, you know what? I already know for a fact. Y'all ask me for advice, or I give all this advice, but y'all still gonna do what the fuck you want to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because until you're really ready to make a change, you're going to still do what you want to do, no matter what a person is telling you what you should be doing or how you could make things better for yourself. You're still going to test the waters. You know what I'm saying?
About advice, right?
Yeah, you're going to teeter-totter that water. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see what the hell is going on. So I said, you know what? Instead of me wasting my breath, I'm going to put it in the book. You can put it next to your nightstand, next to your Bible, however you need to use it. Keep it in your pocketbook, your book bag, whatever. And if as you need it, pull it out. Go to that chapter on relationships. Go to that chapter on faith. Go to that chapter on going back to school and making sure you have an education or educating yourself. You know what I'm saying? Understanding who you are, you know what I'm saying? And what your purpose to do in this world. So those are the things that I touched on in life. And it's just turning negatives into positives. you know what I'm saying? Not staying stuck, you know what I'm saying, in certain situations that don't benefit you or that isn't good for your mental health or your overall health altogether. You know what I'm saying? Releasing those things and finding tools to actually succeed, you know what I'm saying, and be persistent in your change and your growth.
Right. No, most definitely. Which, again, the title of the book was Through My Eyes, and it
Through
is
My Eyes
on Amazon, ebook or paper copy.
Absolutely. Go get that.
Copy.
It could change your life.
Okay. So we're going to move on and speak about the music. That's what we're supposed together anyway, right?
Yeah, man. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Now, you said, well, earlier when we were talking, you were saying that you had dropped 2 albums during the pandemic. So it was a pretty productive pandemic for you. What were the titles?
Productive, grueling, tiring, happy, sad, a ball of damn emotions that I can't even really explain or whatnot. And I guess that's what comes when you're actually putting yourself on the line and you're releasing yourself to the world or whatnot. And like I told you before, you know what I'm saying, or we touched on it, that I'm my worst critic. I've always been, you know what I'm saying? So although I put out a good body of work or whatnot, I put out an excellent body of work, you know, according to the public, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's my best work because I'm always challenging myself to do more. I'm the type of person that will listen to my music now and be like, I could have done this better. I could have sung that differently, or I'll convey a different emotion that I felt like I could have conveyed while I was in the studio. And I'm just like, damn, if I would have sung it like this, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? But I'm proud of it because I put it all out as I was hurting and going through the loss of my grandmother. I didn't know which way I was going to turn. I didn't want to do anything. That was the biggest depression I ever faced. I thought I was depressed and suffered with mental illness and all these different things in the past, but only because of the things I put myself in and the things that didn't go my way as a result of things ending, relationships ending or whatever like that. Oh, I'm depressed and boo hoo 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 hoo. I'm sad because this relationship ended or this didn't go my way. It wasn't
like
absolutely
real, like
absolutely. But I had to experience this loss. You know what I'm saying? For me to even go back and say, all those times I wasn't stressed. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I was probably needy, you know what I'm saying? Probably dealing with some manipulative stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just different things, you know what I'm saying, that wasn't good for me, but things that I put myself in, you know what I'm saying? Experiencing this though, and I had no control over it. And me actually having to activate my faith and call out on God's name or whatnot and plead with him and still not get the results that I wanted. Oh my God, it tore something serious in me. Right. Because for so long, a lot of us, and I'm not going to hold you, so long, and, you know, and I guess, you know, a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, growing up, you know what I'm saying, we hear about God, but he's someone that we've never seen, you know what I'm saying? You know, we might have felt him, or when you get that relationship with him and you understand, but we learned about him growing up, but he's somebody that we never really seen until you get that relationship. You really never really know if he exists. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not naive or ignorant enough to say he doesn't, because I know he does, because he lives within me. But growing up, you know, even for all of us, kids that went like that, you know, you hear about God and you see how they act in church and you see people speaking in tongues and shouting and everything like that. And you're just like, what the heck is going on? Whatever like that. Or you think God is really some magical creature. Or in your mind, you feel as though if I pray for something, it's going to come. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But it's not until you actually go through life and you have to really sit in some things and you have to activate the scriptures and you have to go back to the things that you were taught, you know what I'm saying, and understand how life actually works. And you go, well, no, he's not just some magical creature that just throws blessings out of the sky, or just because I pray for something, I'm going to get my every wish or something like that. No, it's really some groundwork that you have to do or whatnot. And just because the results aren't garnered in your favor or the way that you want it to happen, it doesn't mean that the prayer wasn't answered. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I had to understand. So I put out the 2 albums or something like that, and I probably wouldn't have put the albums out, sad to say, if I didn't experience this loss, because I was so comfortable with just doing everything else. And I probably just felt, just by my name alone, I'm gonna be all right. I'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? But one day I had to sit down and I was like, okay, I am getting older. I am playing. And I'm not going as hard as I could. or what I know that I could be doing and people are asking for me, I'm not really living out to be that person. So I need to change some things. But it wasn't until my grandmother's passing that I understood that, maybe that spoiling or that coddling that she did me, I didn't have that safety net anymore. Right. You know what I'm saying? I was always able to kind of bounce back and be able to go back to grandma's house, be able to whatever. I didn't have that anymore. I wasn't like that. So having to really understand how am I going to survive on my own or without this person that, to be honest, was cooking meals for me. I was spoiled in very much of the sense, you know what I'm saying? Even though I had gotten married before and I moved out or something like that, my grandmother still called me, did you eat? I'm going to bring you food. I'm going to bring whatever. Thank God she did, because I had a wife that couldn't cook. You know what I'm saying? But, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is.
But it's just love though at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, so that's the story on that. So the albums came as a result of pain. And then the second album, the EP that came only 2 months after that, which was 5 songs, came as a result of, I wanted to talk more to ladies, but it's also a little bit more joyful because I put out the Reflections, which is, like I said, a big melting pot of just who I am. You get a little bit of gospel, you get a little bit of Afro, punk, Afro beat, Caribbean, vibes, you know what I'm saying? You get a little bit of just sultry R&B. But then when you get to chapter 29, it's a little bit more grown and sexy, but it's also a little bit more fun. You got a little bit of funk vibes going, a little funk beats, a little Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know what I'm saying? You got some vibes with it, but it's more joyful. You know what I'm saying? It's more of my overcoming album or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? Stepping into manhood, real manhood. You know what I'm saying? Was always grown, but see, we think that we are grown or whatnot like that just because of age or whatnot like that. And I always thought, I was always very mature for my age. But when I started going through all this and putting this album together, and I had to actually start writing different things, and I had to touch on certain subjects to convey certain emotions or just to get the message across, I was like, oh, God damn, I wasn't as grown as I thought I was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just now, coming out of some phases or whatnot like that, or understanding I was doing some bullshit or acting out in ways that I shouldn't have been acting out, but it worked out. Mm-hmm. It worked out.
And that's the important part, that it worked out.
Absolutely. I tell you, I say all the time, you know what I'm saying? It all works together. Everything that you do in life, you know what I'm saying? Your journey, it all comes together. You may not understand it right now. You know what I'm saying? You may not get it because you don't understand why things happen, because we could set out to plan life to go a certain way. I'm going to be married by this age. I want to have a kid by this age. It might not happen. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you have to do away with expectations or, being so hard up on yourself or whatever like that, and really just take life for what it is and be thankful for where you are now. And that's what I had to do. I was beating myself up because I'm just like, I should be here by 30. I should be doing this, or I should be whatever. And I had to get sat down.
Tell God your plan and he is going to laugh at you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he laughed dead in my face. And that's why I said, oh yeah, he got a sense of humor, because he laughed straight in my face. Big time. Big time.
Oh man. So your latest project is a music video coming out, right?
It's out.
Already out.
Part-Time Lover.
That we all gotta check it out. And it's on what? YouTube?
It's on YouTube. And if you go to my Instagram at JaRich Official, it is there as well. Go check it out. It is dope. It is speaking to the independent woman. I put it out in March or whatnot in honor of Women's History Month or whatnot. But it's a nice R&B song or whatnot like that. I'm not gonna really say it's raunchy, but it's a nice vibe or whatnot like that. And it just speaks to the independent woman, or just a woman that's on her shit, on her grind, focused on her goals or whatnot like that. And she don't really have time to be playing around with us knucklehead boys, you know what I'm saying? Us knucklehead men or whatnot,
Ladies, you got a song for us out here.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So she's more so like, I'll give you a chance if you're persistent and consistent, but I don't got time to be playing games with you. Other than that, leave me alone. I'm focused, you know what I'm saying? Leave me in my lane or whatnot like that. So Part-Time Love is basically just speaking to the woman that's on her shit, that's on her grind. You know what I'm saying? This is the day and age. I'm all for women, you know what I'm saying? Women power, women empowerment, you know what I'm saying? This is the day and age of the woman. You know what I'm saying? So, women ain't settling anymore. You know what I'm saying? They ain't beat no more. You know what I'm saying? So, us guys, we got to step our game up. The games that we used to play, y'all ain't falling for that shit no more.
Start applying pressure.
Y'all ain't playing. Y'all not playing that shit no more. So I think we need to catch up. You know what I'm saying? And try to understand, because I've been seeing a lot of dudes getting their feelings hurt lately because these females ain't settling anymore.
Mm-hmm. The bar's been raised everywhere.
Very high, very high, very high. That's why I'm stepping my game all the way up.
I know that's right. And it's lovely that you're able to, you know, at least see that and appreciate it and dedicate that song to a woman. So, you know, where does that come from? Is it the woman in your life who motivated and inspired that?
Let me tell you something. All my life, I've been around nothing but strong, independent women. All of them had a story, whether it was abuse, physically, emotionally. I've seen it firsthand. I've heard the stories, but my whole entire family, the women outbeats the men. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got to school, you know what I'm saying, I was always prone to being around young ladies, you know what I'm saying, beautiful young ladies, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot like that. That was always, you know, just my thing. So I always kind of understood the female mind because I was always up under females, you know what I'm saying? So I always worked kind of to my advantage or one like that, because even though I was a straight male or whatnot like that, I was around these females and I was understanding how the female thinks, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, you know, females would be not so much attracted to me in the sense of wanting to date me, but like me as a person and befriended me. Like I'm best friends with almost everybody because it was like, okay, he understands. He's not like your average dude that's just, you know, neglecting my feelings or my emotions. I have been that person. You know what I'm saying? I have been that person. But you know what I'm saying? Me understanding and not looking at a woman as anything other than an equal to me, you know what I'm saying, made me change my view set on a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, because I've had some women that was way better, you know, mentally stable than me or whatever like that, or that was just awesome in my life and that I've done completely wrong just because mentally I wasn't there, or I thought I could have my cake and eat it too. You know what I'm saying? So, but I've always came back to my senses. It might have been too late for certain situations that I'll probably try to go back to and apologize later because it's like, no, nigga, we not fucking with you like that. You know what I'm saying? You already done showed me who the hell you are.
Right.
But I've always came back to my senses because my grandmother, my mother, you know what I'm saying? I come from a woman, you know, from a woman's womb or whatnot like that. So it always, I got sisters, you know what I'm saying? After me, it's girls. My baby brother's only 15 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I'm around a bunch of women, so it was only right that I dedicate something to women and that I speak to women in general or one like that and know that y'all got a friend in me. I'm not against you. I'm with you on everything. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Well, on behalf of all women out here, I'm very happy to know.
Oh man. Yeah, y'all got me.
Your understanding and your effort to continue understanding.
I stand with y'all. I stand with y'all. 100%. I don't want no problems.
And no smoke.
None. None.
Oh boy. Well, everybody, here you have it. This is JaRich. Again, please don't forget to go.
We done already?
Oh, we talking more? We could talk some more.
I mean, we done. I'm playing with you. You know, you probably done asked enough. I told you, I'm long-winded, man. I'm very long-winded. You probably tired of me, shit.
No. But I do want everybody to definitely go over to Amazon and cop their copy of Through My Eyes. Have it, like you said, what was it? Beside your nightstand?
Yeah, you can have it beside your nightstand, put it in your little pocketbook, you know what I'm saying? Throw it in your book bag, however way, keep it in your car, in your glove compartment, whatever you need to do. You know what I'm saying? At any given moment, you might be going through something, ready to tweak on somebody, pull it out. You know, use that as your Bible. Now, nothing compares to the Bible, but if you want to deal with some real life stuff, you know what I'm saying, based off of the situations that you're facing, open that book up. It'll bless you.
Okay, there you go. Amazon, cop it.
Absolutely.
And also, where are we listening to Reflections in Chapter 29? Those are the two albums.
You could find it on all digital streaming platforms. So whoever your music provider is, whether it's Apple Music, whether it's Google Play, whoever you listen to, even YouTube, go and type in JaRich. I have a whole official channel up there on YouTube. You will see all my work. You'll see some live videos. You'll also see Part-Time Lover or whatnot. Everything is available everywhere. So whoever your music provider is, you can find Reflections. You can find Chapter 29. You can find Part-Time Lover. I'm out here.
So y'all heard it. There's no excuses.
No excuses. None whatsoever.
Most of the videos out on YouTube. Everybody, please make sure y'all give JaRich his flowers now while he's here, okay?
Oh man, that's love. I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Yes, I want to be able to smell my flowers while I'm living.
I know that's right, okay? Like,
can't smell them when I'm dead.
You can't, so give them now, okay?
Please.
Make sure y'all follow him. What is your Instagram? Let us
JaRich Official. JaRich, that's JaRich Official. The regular way you spell official. OFFICIAL. You know, go follow me now. I do follow back, depending on who you are. But please check me out and follow me back.
Y'all heard it here with us at We Are Jersey Magazine. Again, my name is Melissa, and this is JaRich. And y'all take care.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
We are Jersey. 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 We are Jersey.